Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we have a very special guest. Andrew's with us. He has lost a ton of weight. This man has pulled down over 100 pounds in 4 months. So we're going to be getting into his health journey, what inspired him to do that. I only know a couple other people who have lost that much in under 4 months, and my brother Steve is one of them. So I'm really excited to hear what inspired him to get into that. And yes, stay tuned. That's coming up next. We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
You start getting healthy and you just become a better person.
We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right, Andrew, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you said you're in Colorado, right?
Yes, sir.
Man, I went to Seattle to visit a friend a few years ago, and I noticed that the mountain air was just amazing. Do you get some of that mountain air out there?
Oh yeah, I'm like maybe like you can see the mountains from our house, but it's like a good 45-minute drive, 30 minutes sometimes. You're like right then and there.
That's dope. Yeah, I think it's beautiful to have mountains in the background, man. I'm blown away by that.
Oh, the coolest thing is like, so in the backyard, there's a pond with some fish and everything. And occasionally, every winter in the spring, you get like deer and elk with their babies in the backyard, in the front yard of your house. And it's cool to look at. It's a lot different. It's different.
You got a Disney movie going on in your backyard. Okay, cool. So I want to dive right into this because it's been a while since we've had people on the show who have done 150-day water fast, 100-day water fast. We've had people who have reversed all types of diseases, but it's been a little while since we've had someone do 100 pounds in 4 months or anything like that. So I guess my first question to you is, what was your starting weight, and what was it that triggered you to want to change your health?
All right, so at my heaviest, this wasn't my starting weight, but at my heaviest, I was 369 pounds.
Okay.
When I started, it was November 4th, just this past November, and I weighed in I know it was heavier because I weighed myself a couple of days after I started, but the first time I stepped on the scale was 356 pounds.
Okay. Crazy.
And no. When I stepped on the scale, that's the reason I never stepped on the scale. It's because, like, one, I didn't want to bring up that error message, and two, I just really didn't want to know. It's like if I didn't know, it wasn't that bad. Like wearing a 6X shirt was like the normal. It's not normal, but it was the normal to me.
Right.
And so I started off at 356 pounds, and as of today, I hopped on the scale, and 352.
Wow.
So I'm like, what motivated me is just like, of course, like we were talking before, like the surprise divorce. Like, I'm not saying that's what inspired me, but it gave me a chance to sit back and like reflect on everything, life decisions, choices, what I'm doing career-wise, my children, just overall health. And I wrote down a list, and I'm like, of 10 things that I'm doing in my life, whether they're positive, negative, and 8 out of 10 weren't good. Like my weight, my job at the time, like my life choices, my eating habits. And I'm like, if the negative outweighs the positive, I got a problem. So
Wow.
I figured out I thought about what I was gonna do, especially because I have a 4-year-old and I have a 10-month-old. And in January, like through the grace of God, like I was able to obtain 50% custody of my kids.
Okay.
So I thought, like, hey, I'm gonna be a full-time single parent now, like, well, at least half the time. I can't be this weight. Like, I cannot be this big. if I stay this big, who knows how long I'm gonna be around for them. I can't expect my family or anybody else to like take over that. And it's like they look up to me. Me and my 4-year-old especially have a close relationship, and it's like I had to do it for them, myself first, but for my kids, I gotta look out for their future now.
Gotcha. Well, that's, I mean, that's, you know, when we have children, they can be a very good motivating factor for help get us going and everything. But I like the fact that you still make sure that you're doing this for yourself, because I feel like it always has to start there.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think that was very interesting what you did, creating a list of, I guess, just things that you were doing at the time, whether they were good or bad. You were just kind of looking at your life, like outlining your life. And if the bad outweighed the good, then you needed to make some changes. I've never heard of that before. Like,
Yeah.
is that just something you came up with?
Well, it was it kind of just like popped in my head because I was anybody that's ever been through a separation or a divorce when there's kids or even just a divorce in period, it takes a lot on a person. It's stressful, it's emotional.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of things going on, and it's like I didn't. A lot of people would have took that and their health, maybe them drinking or doing something would have doubled and tripled or maybe been worse. So I'm like, I need to grab a hold of my life before I let all these emotions and like everything take over, because
Mm.
this is the most sensitive time in my life. So it's like I seen that it could have went two ways. So there's two roads. I could have either went farther deeper down into negative, or I could, you know what, let's grab a hold of it and go positive. And I just chose to make a big change.
Excellent, man. I love it. I love it. So 4 months ago, you were 100 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
What in the world did you do to lose 100 pounds in 4 months?
All right. So I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate and everything about this, but like, so the first water fast that I did, I just jumped into it. I hear a lot of people like, let's prepare, let's do this. I'm like, no, if I don't start this, I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
So I had like this, I called it the last meal, the last supper. So I just straight like I didn't overeat, but I ate what I wanted. Like if I like that, I remember that day I had, you know what, I felt like having a steak. So I'm like, I'm gonna have a steak. If I want potato, I'm gonna have a baked potato.
Right.
So and then I remember it was at 6 p.m. That was like I was done, and I'm like, all right, this ain't gonna be hard. Let's just the first thing I thought, I'm like, you know what, I'm a huge guy. I could last forever. I'm on, my body got plenty of
Right.
fat. And so basically the first fast I did was 10 days.
Okay.
And day two, I was laying in my room on the floor, just like I hate my life. Why am I doing this? Like what am I doing? Like, and after day three, like the bathroom was my best friend.
Yeah.
it like it was interesting, and after day three it was fine. Like I started kind of understanding. That's like the first couple of days, that's when I started researching. I found your channel, and that's been amazing.
Oh,
I found your channel, and I've watched the Fasting Fat Man. I've seen him on your channel,
yeah.
and just a lot of YouTube was my best friend the first fast. It's like I was watching just random people like the water fast challenge and all this stuff, and people doing it just for fun to see if they can do it. And I'm like, if people could do it for fun, I could do it to change my life.
Yeah. I didn't know, but I didn't know there was a water fast challenge out. Maybe because I'm.
And yeah, you just type in water fast challenge on YouTube and you got all kinds of crazy people just trying to do 20, 30, 7 days. And
Oh,
they yeah, they film their whole progress, and every single one of them, like, they're not really happy after a few days. But yeah, no, that's basically it. Like, so I went 7 days and then I stopped, and then I didn't know about the whole refeeding, about different importance of what you do and what you can eat. So
right.
me being me and not knowing enough, I knew about the bone broth, so I did the bone broth, but it tasted horrible.
Mm.
I didn't like it at all. And so I drank that, and then after that, I'm like, you know what? Maybe if I just eat not horrible things and healthy, then it'll work. So I drank some bone broth throughout the day. I had a couple of like some salad and fruits and all of that, and then I'm like, man, I don't want to eat. I'm gonna just start fasting again. So the next day I started doing another fast, and
Ah,
yeah. So what I found to work for me, the longest fast I did was like 16 days, I want to say.
okay.
And but what I found that works for me doesn't work for everybody. What I find is easier for me. This is what I found from like my niche is I tend to fast 7 to 10 days. Then I'll refeed 1 to 2, then go back into the fast for 7 to 10. Just so I have that little break in between, so I feel like I'm kind of eating. So like I'm kind of doing something different.
Yeah.
And the past, what I think that the longest I went with refeeding and eating was a week. When I first gained back custody of my kids, it's like I couldn't, and it's horrible to say, but it's just something that happened. I couldn't focus on fasting. So I took a break for like 5 days. So I
Okay.
could hang out with them. They wanted to eat certain things. And the first time, like I was trying to go through the fast with it, and my kids, Dad, you're not gonna eat? I'm like, no, I'm fasting. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna complicate their lives more right now. I'm like, you know what? I'll take a break for a couple of days while I got them. And I took a break, and then, but now I'm back on it, and the weight just falls off. It's
Yeah.
easy. Like it's an addiction. I swear. It's like it's it's like somebody that is an alcoholic, I guess, that needs alcohol. I need to fast now. It's like
Mm.
something that my body needs. I want to do.
Hmm. It's funny because it's like the best, if it's an addiction, it's the best addiction that you could, I mean, playfully speaking, obviously people can get into some pretty bad eating disorders, but
Oh, yeah.
it's really good for you to fast. I mean,
Mhm.
I tell people all the time, fasting's a daily part of your day. Every time you sleep, your body goes into a fast. So I think it's interesting that you told me that your schedule was pretty much like a 7-1, fast for 7 days, eat for one day, because okay, like I mentioned earlier, one of the other people who have actually lost this much weight, Steve, lost 90 pounds in 3 months. That's kind of
Wow.
where we tapped in, and then what he was doing was 14 days, and then he would eat for 2 days. So
Right.
it's a very similar pattern, and with the 7-1, what you get to do is pretty much avoid that detox tongue, because like usually the detox tongue comes closer to like the two week mark, 10 days 2 week mark. And I remember Steve telling me, he's like, man, I could fast all day long, but this tongue, man, this tongue is so nasty. You did you experience the detox tongue, or were you able to avoid it?
The first time I fasted, most definitely I had it. It was disgusting. Like toothpaste was my best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I did that 16-day fast, that was like it wasn't hard. It was just my tongue was too dry. It was just white. I
Yeah.
had a cotton mouth. I could drink all the water I wanted and nothing would help.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I do like you were saying. It's like I avoid that detoxing, like that detox tongue, and it's a comfortable spot. And I've kept my mind open to doing longer fasts, say 30 days or something.
Yeah.
But my results haven't declined or stopped. I'm still getting the results I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's easy, but it's something that that I'm comfortable with. Like I would say that it just works. It's kind of like routine. It's like waking up for work in the morning.
Right. Now
But
that's interesting. You said waking up for work. So how does your friends, your family, coworkers, like how do they all feel about what you've been doing and the change you've made?
so I'm fortunate. Like I'm real fortunate. At first, I told my mother about it, and she's like, "No, no, no. Like, no, you're not gonna starve yourself. Like,
Right.
if you want to lose weight, keep going to the gym, eat healthier." Like, and I'm like, "Okay, let me tell you, let me show you." I showed her your videos. I gave her some information. I would always send her like web pages of information about fasting, water fasting, the benefits, and I would say a week in, she was like, "Wow." She's like, "I never realized that there's so many benefits." And my mother, she has a lot of health issues. Like she has autoimmune disease, and she was diagnosed with POTS and all these things. And she's like, "Maybe I should do a water fast." I'm like, "Let's do it. We can do this. Like we can
Yeah.
do it together. I'll be on you, you be on me." And so she checked with her physician, and her physician said not at the moment to do it, just because everything that's going on, because with autoimmune disease, it branches off to like a lot of different things. And with this new thing, POTS, that she has, there's not a whole lot of research on it and a lot of information. So with the blood pressure, sometimes her blood pressure is like 79 over 15. It's like horrible. So her doctor wants to do a little bit more information on it before she says, "Hey, go for it." So
Right.
I'm okay with that. I told her, "You know what? Listen to your doctor for now, but I'm pretty sure a doctor would have told me the same thing. Just no, 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 don't do it, don't do it," kind of thing.
Right.
But friends at work, everybody is real positive. I have support everywhere. My family's on board. My brother, he started fasting because he's afraid that I'm gonna pass him in weight. And I told him, "Don't worry, I've saved all my fat man clothes. Like I'll just pass them on to you, man." Like, don't worry. And so he tried to water fast. It's a little too hard for him at the moment, but he's doing it. He started doing like the 1 meal a day. He has like a 1 hour window, so he's being successful with that. So I told him, "You don't have to water fast because it's not for everybody." I told him, "Just do what works for you. Just as long as the overall outcome, as long as it's a healthy lifestyle change that you're making,
Right.
do what works for you." And even at work, I work at a grocery store. I'm like a meat cutter, butcher, so I'm around beautiful meat and food all day. So it's different, and all day, like my coworkers, like they'll make food or make some meat, or they'll making up samples so everybody's eating. And at first they're all, "Hey, you're not gonna eat none?" I'm like, "No, no, I'm fasting." "Okay, so you're just drinking juice or eating salads?" "No, no, no, I'm water fasting." Explain it to them. At first they were like, that's extreme, that's bizarre.
Right.
But now they're all on board. Like
Yeah.
I even got customers that come in and, "Hey, how much weight have you lost since the last time I was here?" And I tell them, and they're like, "Yeah, yeah, I've been telling my friends about it, and they don't believe me. They said that's not possible." And I know it is because I see you every time. Like,
Right.
and I have a lot of support because I got a good customer base at work that are like loyal people that come to the meat counters. And but family and friends, they're all supportive. They love they're just happy for me. They're just really happy that I decided to take charge of my life and my weight, because family and friends have told me about my weight, like not in a mean way, but like, "Hey, you know what? We noticed since you, like in the past couple of years, maybe you gained a little weight." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know, but it's fine. Yeah, it's fine." I like, there's two types. Like, I used to have this saying. It's horrible now that I think about it, but I'm like, there's two types of fat people. There's fat people that wish they were skinny, and fat happy people. You know which one I am? And like, I used to say that all the time, and
Yeah.
I don't know I think I was just like trying to cover up what I really was going through.
Mm-hmm.
And but all around support. My family, even out of state, they check in on me. "Hey, how's Andrew doing? What weight loss he has?" Because now I have a goal. Before it was just mental clarity and life. But 2 months ago, well, like a month and a half ago, I'm like, "You know what? I got to do something different." So I'm gonna join the military. So I'm in the process of getting my neck tattoos removed, which is the worst pain you could ever feel. I'll tell you that. I'm getting those removed. I got a couple more sessions, and I'm working with a recruiter out here, and I gotta be at 191. So that's my goal. Now I officially have a goal, which I didn't have before. It was more just like, let's get healthy.
Right.
But now I actually have a goal. So once I hit that, I could actually go to MEPS and head out. So that's my goal, and it's gonna be great for my kids. It's gonna be a little hard being away, but the benefits they'll get out of it is amazing.
What branch?
I'm gonna join the Navy because they have the most lenient tattoo policy that we've been researching. And
Okay.
I have hand tattoos.
Yeah.
And they're one of the only branches that'll let you with hand tattoos.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm gonna see how the process goes with my neck tattoos, because this one right here was as dark as my shirt, and now it's pretty light.
Yeah.
And if that goes good, I'm gonna remove the hand ones too. But if I don't get there by June, I'm gonna just, as long as these ones are gone, I'm going.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, shoot, you said 191 is what you gotta be at. You got let's see, what is it? March, April, May, June. So you got another 3 months or so.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's you. I mean, that's gonna be what, 200 pounds almost.
Mhm.
That's, man. So I know when we talked in the comment section, I said let's maybe through emails that let's do an interview now at you kind of like your midway point, and then let's get you right before you know leave for I guess basic or
Yeah.
camp. I don't know what it's called in Navy.
Oh, it's just it's RTC. Like, so I'll be going to Illinois to Great Lakes for recruit training command boot camp, basically.
Dude, you're going to be in such a good condition mentally and physically, because I know that you're going through that type of training and stuff. I've had multiple family members and friends go through those, boot camps and stuff. It could be very tasking, but with your regimen and everything, I mean, you're going to be, if you continue like this, you'll be able to get in there and just kill it. And then of course, you're going to be exercising and working out. Do you do any exercising now?
Light, real light. Like before, I used to be like, when I first started, I used to be at the gym all the time, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh,
But now with fasting, it's like, yeah, I'll walk, I'll jog, and basically I'll do some push-ups, but I try to avoid the gym, just because when I did go, when I was in the middle of a fast, I kind of like, okay, let's go regular, let's go hard. And my body kind of didn't like it.
yeah,
Kind of like, I felt lightheaded, and I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing it as intense as I want to.
right.
So I got to listen to my body. And that's the main thing I stress on. It's like, I tell my mom, when like my mother or friends, they're all, what if you start feeling weird? I'm like, you know what? Fasting has a lot of things that you feel weird, or you don't want to do this, or hey, maybe I should stop. Maybe this is bad. And I'll ride through that. But after 4 months of doing it, it's to the point where I feel like, if my body tells me, like, there's been once or twice that I started a fast, and like 4 days in, I'm like, something really it just doesn't sit well. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna break my fast. And that's okay with me. Like, before I was like, no, I can't break the fast. I gotta go 7, 10, 15 days. And now I'm at the point, like, if I'm 4 days in and something just doesn't feel right, I'll break the fast.
That's important because a lot of people get stuck on the numbers. And what I actually teach, especially when I'm doing like 101s, I tell people, here is this is where you want to get to, the point you want to get to. Usually it's like 3 days, because when you get to 3 days, that's when you really start seeing the benefits of fasting. I mean, you could do a 1-day fast and see benefits, but like I said, 3 days is where your body really gets ramped up and you're going to see major benefits happening. And after that, like, really, I say, yo, it's all gravy. Like, go for as long as, mentally you can handle it. And physically, if you, like, some people have really strenuous jobs or whatever, just go for as long as it's safe and everything for you, because doing the 10-day fast or 21-day fast, yes, it is good. They're very beneficial, but you've got all the time in the world. Like, you know what I'm saying? People go from
Yeah.
eating every single day for 30 years, 40 years, whatever the case may be, and then all of a sudden they just don't eat for 10 days. Your body's going to go into shock. I mean, it's going, like, fasting won't hurt you, but your body is certainly going to go into some sort of shock. So you don't gotta,
Yeah.
and that's why I teach this gradual thing. I know you
Yeah.
mentioned jumping right in and all of that.
If I didn't jump right in, I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't have done it because I would have found another reason and another excuse
Yeah.
not to start. So I said, what's more better? It's like a smoker that just quits and they haven't smoked a cigarette for 10, 15 years. Hey, what did you do? Did you like ease into it, cut down a little bit? No, I just kind of just said, I'm done.
Right.
I guess you got to be. I guess to do something like that, yeah, it's not really the best because my body did go into shock. Because it's like, hey, we were eating so much these past couple of days. What are you doing? Like, but it's like, oh man, it's just, it's something that I had to do.
Yeah, I understand. Everybody's different, man. Some people can do that. Some people can jump back. I mean, my first fast, I did 13 days, you know? So, but to be honest with you, most people have difficulty doing that. Or what happens is, and this is another thing that makes you unique. People start fasting, they could do their first fast, maybe 20, 30 days, crazy. And then after that, they can't get back into it again. So the fact that you've been consistent with it, you're kind of an anomaly. You know what I mean? It's like I
Well,
said, it's rare for someone to be able to lose that much weight in this amount of time because of the amount of discipline it takes to be consistent.
yeah, like right now, it was funny because I'm like, today, so I'm on day 8 of my fast right now. So like today's day 8, yeah. So at 6 p.m. it'll go into day 9.
Mm.
And it's like clockwork. It's just I don't think about it. It's just I don't know. I guess you got to be, first of all, if I can do it, anybody can do it. I'll tell you right now, because I was one of those people that were watching YouTube and videos and all this stuff, and I'm like, man, that person lost what? Like, oh my God, that person lost 100 pounds in 10 months. That person lost this, and now I'm sitting here talking to you, and I'm one of those people that were able to do it, and anybody can do it. You just got to be in the right mind to say I'm done with my lifestyle that I was living, and I want to make changes, and the results and the benefits come almost instantly. I don't want to say it's overnight thing, but it's like the first day of your fast is just you'll automatically start feeling the change. And every time I start my fast, it's like, oh, there goes 5 pounds, but it's because food was in my stomach.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's do it. Like I think anybody can do it. I know they can, because for me being at 356 pounds and the life that I was living, I loved food. That was my thing. I ate whatever I want whenever I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
There was no, hey, lunch, breakfast, dinner. I ate whenever I wanted. So I don't know. I just want to stress that anybody that wants to change their life, it's possible. If you don't have support in your family or friends, you could reach out online. There's so many people. I'll leave my email in your videos. Like if you need support or anything, there's so many people out there like yourself, like you and your channel. Like you've helped me. There's some nights I'm like, I'm just so done. I'm tired of this. I don't want to do it. I'm gonna just get fat. I don't care. But it's like just that little bit of motivation, or just watching that video or watching somebody's testimony, and it will help that person get to the next day. So I hope that I'm able to help somebody, whether it's start or keep going in their fast. The journey is not over until you meet your goal, until your life is happy. You don't have to have a set goal of weight. If you want to be 180, and you're 400 pounds. Yeah, it's possible, but maybe your body is content at 200, and you're still healthy. Any weight loss is good weight. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I actually encourage people to build healthy habits, fasting being part of that. I think even after you finish losing your weight or whatever, you hit your weight goal, you still want fasting to just be a part of your lifestyle. So fast on a regular basis, eat well. Obviously, we talk a lot about diet and nutrition, and then your body will determine where you need to be. Like, it's not something that we have to decide. The body has an optimal size that it wants to be. It's far more intelligent than our conscious mind tends to be. So just don't even worry about it. But you're going to look great. You're going to feel great. And I tell people all the time, like, the actual weight doesn't matter. It's all about how you feel. And, you know, people want to get big because they like see bodybuilders and stuff. And it's like, bro, that's not natural. You know, being that big, walking around, you can't even grab the middle of your back. Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? It's unnatural. So, yeah, that's a really, really good outlook on things, man. I'm curious, outside of the weight loss, I know you mentioned that you doing things for mental clarity. Have you noticed anything else specific? Like, did you have any like diseases or anything that you reversed or anything like that?
Just like from being overweight, my skin was like kind of nasty. Like, my face is cleared up a lot, like a lot. That's really just my mindset. It's just like I was mentioning earlier, like with the whole divorce. The divorce ain't final yet. We're still going through it. It's almost over. It should be finalized in June, but it takes a lot of stress and it's mentally exhausting. Like, mentally exhausting. Some people have great divorces and it's just over, but this one was rough. It was a real unhealthy marriage and a real battle. And so fasting, it helped me to just keep a clear mind and not venture off to other things. Like, I haven't drank since September 15th. I haven't had a drink of alcohol. I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't know. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see what you look like coming out the military, man. You're going to be, it's a complete change, like 180.
Yeah, no, another crazy thing. So I didn't take measurements, and I regret it so bad. Take measurements if you're going to start a journey. But luckily, I used to shop at my local Fat Man store and a casual male. And I walked in there one day, and the guy that always helped me pick my clothes out, he's like, he looks at me funny. He's all, I think I know you. And I was in there all the time. I'm like, yeah, I've lost some weight. He's like, it's been a month and you've lost. Yeah. I'm like, I just have one question. Do you have my measurements when I first came here? And he's like, yeah. So he pulls them up on the computer, and I started off at a 59-inch waist.
Wow.
And now I'm down to between like 40 and a half inches.
Wow.
And my shirt's going from a 6X was like perfect. Like, that was my shirt. That was my comfort zone. Now
Right.
I'm down to an extra large.
Wow. Yeah, I remember when because your story it kind of mimics Steve's, my brother Steve, so much. But I remember that was his big thing. He was like, Chris, I just want to get in the it changed, right? As we progressed, he was like, I just want to get in the 3X. Then I just want to get in the 2X. He's like, bro, I'm about to get in this extra large, you know? And my brother Steve, he's crazy. Like, he's like, bro, I'm gonna be squeezing up in that large pretty soon now.
No, yeah, I have a closet in my room because I've had to buy so many clothes, and I wish I didn't have to, but it's like, so 6X, and then all of a sudden, like 3 weeks later, 5X. Then all of a sudden, 2-3 weeks later, I jumped the 4X, went to 3X, and it's like, so I have brand new shirts, all of my closets that I've worn like 3 times.
Yeah.
and I just kind of look at them, and occasionally I'll pull them out and I'll wrap them around me, and it's like it feels good.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway,
dope. And one cool tip for those out there listening, losing weight, especially who are coming from like, you know, that 400-pound range down, you could go to Goodwill or you know, the thrift
yeah,
store or something. Because if you're going to be serious about this journey, you're going to lose the weight very fast. You just need something to, you know what I mean, hold you over until you get to that next weight size, and that way you don't waste a lot of money. But
yeah, that was my rule. Like, I'm not gonna spend money. So every time I was a new size, I buy one T-shirt, one dress shirt. That's it. That was
yeah,
my thing. I knew in another 2 weeks I'm gonna have to go buy another one.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Well, that's all very exciting. I wanted to quickly go back, talk about a couple things. First of all, I think that you made a good point when you're talking about family and support. Um, Before I ever started a healthy alternative, and I was just researching like cancer, because cancer was lingering in my mind. Like I really didn't want to get cancer, and they were saying that the people who survived cancer were the ones who had the most support, had family and friends to pretty much like not live for, but like to motivate them, and they supported them. And it's the same thing with fasting. I believe that having a good support system is part of the reason why you've been so successful, because doing it alone is very hard. So, y'all, we have the Facebook group on Facebook, A Healthy Alternative, which is an amazing resource. I've got the Fasting Academy, which is an amazing resource. You have me at your fingertips. Hey, Chris, I'm going through this. What can I do? You know, ask questions. And you know, I've created all these resources and places. So even if you don't have the family aspect, you don't have friends who are supporting you, you have someone who can help support you. So, and then Andrew has offered his email. I don't know if he really wants to do that.
I'll make a whole new email. I'll make a whole new email just for that.
That's what you need to do. So we're gonna have a special email, because but you know, it's nice, man. It's nice to be able to have that personal touch. The other thing I wanted to kind of talk about too, real quick, is your mom. She wanted to get into the fasting, and of course, the physician's going to say, no, don't fast. Now, what I will say is, with your mom's situation, it actually sounds like it would be beneficial to try something a little bit less extreme, just to get her body used to it. But we certainly can do something in the realm of fasting. So, you know, juice fasting or even switching to like smoothies would be a good idea, because
Oh yeah, she has tried that. What is it? That, you know, that lemon, cayenne pepper, and maple syrup water. She's done that.
is that the master cleanse?
I have no idea, honestly. All I know is it tastes disgusting.
How did she do with that?
Yeah, she went 5 or 7 days on that, and she went amazing. And I
Okay.
told her, even if you, I told her, well, then maybe it might, maybe try 1 day water fasting. Try it, because like I'm not. I guess I can say I'm not your typical water. I don't follow those typical water fasting, because
Right.
every day, like I know it's just water, but every morning I take a multivitamin. That helps me feel better, and I don't know why, but it makes me feel like, hey, I'm okay to keep going. So that's all I take is a multivitamin every morning, because that was kind of like my mom's like, you're not just drinking water, you're taking a vitamin. And I'm like, I'm a grown man. Mom, like I could do this. Like, but you know what? I'll take a multivitamin. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, if she could do what was 5, 7 days on that, then she could, man, get it. Ask her to try juice fasting. You know, it's a little bit more pleasurable than sounds like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's very, very safe. And with juice fasting, you could actually, now she doesn't have to, but you could replace your daily caloric intake with juice.
Right.
You could do that. It's fine. You could drink a gallon of juice if that's what you want to do, but it has to be fresh squeezed though.
That's the only way to do it. It tastes so much better.
Oh, it's so delicious.
Yeah. But nah, man, this is crazy. Like, thank you for like everything you do. Like, you've helped me so much, and like I was so nervous to hop on this video, and I'm like, Mom's all, what are you nervous about? I'm like Like, this is somebody I look up to, that inspired me, that helps me. Like, it's like meeting an idol in your life and I'm supposed to sit there and talk to him? Like I can't do this. But yeah, no, thank you so much, man, for everything.
No, absolutely. It's my pleasure, man. Honestly, I appreciate you. I'm glad that you agreed to do it, you know, and you've got such great energy around it because, I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years now. And it's like, this is the most impactful thing I've ever done, is to bring other people on and share their story. I think it's so funny. Like, nobody cares about my story. Like, somebody commented me on one of my videos a little while ago where I was talking about like my weight loss and stuff like that. And they just were like, "Hey man, what's new? Like, how's fasting helped you recently or whatever?" But no one ever cares because I'm really tall and like no one could see how much weight I lost. Like, they don't care. But that's fine though, because I like being able to, you know, bring other people on and showcase their story and all of that. Like, I don't need the glory or anything like that. But thank you. I appreciate, you know, everything that you said and coming on. Is there anything else that you know, kind of wanted to leave with the audience as we sign off?
Just keep going. And anybody that's thinking about water fasting or any kind of fasting, it doesn't have to be water fasting. It has to be what you want to do. Like, my brother, he tried water fasting. He decided to do that, open a 1 hour window, 1 meal a day, because water fasting was just a little too much for him, and that's okay. Anything that you're doing in life, your weight loss and getting a healthy lifestyle and everything is possible. You just gotta stay positive, stay focused, and don't give up. Because I wanted to give up so many times, but if I would have gave up, I wouldn't be over 100 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
And it's possible. If I can do it, anybody out there can do it. And I promise you that, because I was that overweight person watching YouTube saying, man, I wish I could be like them. I wish I can do this. I want to be healthy. I want to be around for my kids. But here I am on my journey. Anything's possible. Just stay positive. Surround yourself around positive people. Surround yourself around people that will motivate you and keep you going. You don't need negative people in your life when you're trying to fix your life.
Yep.
At all. Just keep going and stay positive. Look at who your friends are, because I've lost friends while I'm fasting. Oh, you want to go to the bar? Like, nah, I'm fasting. I got a goal, and I got something that I'm doing. And me eating or drinking that beer isn't as important as what I'm trying to do in my life right now. I'll have time for that later on. I'm 29 right now. I've had 29 years of being able to do whatever I wanted. So I can sacrifice a small portion of my life to be dedicated and real strict on myself to get these goals done. So anything's possible. You've had your whole life to be like to mess up and eat whatever you want and goof off and all that. Take a little portion of your life to focus on yourself, and it will be amazing. I promise you.
Absolutely. Well said. I agree 100%. So I think you've said it all. I would like to, as we talked before, I want to invite you to come back in a couple of months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So part 2 is coming soon. And, you know, I look forward to seeing your progress. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And we'll see you all next time.